Hi everyone, my name is Rishad. Today is the 12th of November 2023 and I'm going to be making my weekly prediction for SPY. As usual, we'll go over the monthly, weekly, and finally the daily charts, and then we'll switch over to the Excel sheet where we'll go over the prediction from last week and review any profits or losses made, and go over the current week's prediction in more detail and introducing option chain to see if that can give us any more support. So, before getting into the video, it's important to make this disclaimer that all information in the video is completely educational, and therefore it's important to conduct your own technical or any analysis that you like before entering a position in the market to ensure that unnecessary losses and risks can be avoided. So, on this note, we can begin the video. And when we zoom into the monthly charts, we can see that for the last 3 months, the market has been going down for SPY. We saw that there was a spinning top candle, then we had this large red body candle and another spinning top candle. However, this month, although it hasn't closed yet, we can see is already quite strong in the bullish direction. And when we switch over to the weekly chart and then the daily chart, this will become a lot more apparent. You can see from the monthly charts that it has already broken a resistance at 432.84, and the spot price is currently at 440.61. We can see that the RSI has also crossed its average again. We can see that it did dip below and then it has crossed up again. So we do have bullish signal so far. However, the actual candlestick chart doesn't tell us much. It does still say that we are waiting for a decisive signal since we have two spinning top candles. So the direction in which this month closes, and how strong it is will determine whether the uptrend continues or we have a break of the trend line. But that's all that we can gauge from the monthly charts. So now let's switch over to the weekly charts. Here, we can see that last week we had a huge, massive upwards bullish movement. We had pretty good volume. And we can see the previous 2 weeks, obviously, because of reports, the market was quite down. Then we had this comeback, which absolutely just brought the price back. And then this week as well, we had a green candle. However, if we look at the volume, we can see that this week's candle had a lot lower volume than last week's and had a lot less of the price action as well. Although the RSI did cross its average, which is a bullish signal as well. If we look at these two candles here, there was quite high volume and it was consistent. But we can see this is not the case here. So, because of that, we are going to be a little bit safer and we are going to take for the resistance and support here. So 443.94 is the resistance, which is a little bit higher than last week because we do want to make sure that the price is going in the right direction and be a little bit safer. And our support is a little bit lower at 432.84. So if the market does end up turning back downwards, then we should have plenty of market action, price action to prove that point. But that's all that we can see from the weekly charts. So let's head over to the daily charts, where we can see the price action in a lot more detail. We can see that last week we just had an upturn of just bullish candles and gaps. And this week we can see we started off with a doji, then we had a spinning top, and then another doji. Then we had a large red candle and then a large green candle. So it was quite varied. This week wasn't really any crazy decisive price action. It was pretty stagnant. So that's why our range is quite high this time. And we do want to be sure that the market is going in the right direction on a good volume. We can see in the daily charts that obviously this volume is quite higher, like it's consistently gone up throughout the week. And we do also need to notice that this resistance is quite close to the Bollinger Band. So if it does actually turn around, this is probably one of the best places for it to happen. And if it does end up going downwards, we can assume that the price action would at least touch the mean of the Bollinger Band in the daily charts. But this concludes our technical analysis. So let's head over to the Excel, where we can see last week's prediction and then go over this week's. So, last week we said no trade, we wait for the breakout, and then we buy when it crosses the average. And we did see this. We saw a buy, and our buy was at 437.55, and our quantity was 250, with a total market exposure of 109,387.5. And our exit price was 440.61, giving us a $765 profit. And our weekly closing balance is now 110,211.02. As for this week, our current position is no trade yet. Again, we wait for the breakout, buy when it crosses the resistance, at 443.94. Sell when it falls below the support at 432.84. I'll discuss in the video with the target of 1% and a trailing stop loss. If the target or stop loss is not hit and a position is taken, then we take the closing price. We close at the closing price on Friday. The max OI for the monthly expiry for SPY is 440 for CE, same as last week, at 77,743, and 400 for PE at 193,945 with a PCR of 2.19, which has gone up slightly from last week. Currently, the weekly trend is still down. However, this week can determine the change to that, and the monthly trend is still up. However, again, that can be subject to change depending on how this month goes. But this concludes our video for the prediction of SPY, and I will see you next week where I review this prediction and make the new one. And obviously, if there are any relevant changes to this prediction, they will be covered on the channel. But for the most part, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy.